My name is RG, and in the last few days, we finally saw the arrival of Season 10, which had a lot of people excited, including myself. With this season all being about a split in time, people were expecting massive changes to the map, with some speculating that we could see the Season 1 map return. This ended up not being true, with there actually being very little change to the map. However, that doesn't mean there weren't any big changes to the game. In fact, Epic introduced one of the biggest changes to the game we've seen yet, with the introduction of a brand new vehicle called the Brute. And I think it's fair to say that its arrival has been met with a polarising response from players, with some saying it's the worst introduction to the game since the Infinity Blade of Season 7. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Brute and discussing what can be done to improve the situation players find themselves in. So, the Brute is a vehicle that can be operated by up to 2 players, with one controlling the movement and the other controlling the weapons. It's a slow moving vehicle, however the driver does have the ability to jump incredibly high, as well as stomp enemy players and structures. When using the weapons, players have 2 options, using a shotgun which does 50 base damage, and using a missile launcher, which fires up to 10 devastating missiles at once. 5 to 6 Brutes can spawn each game, with each of them having a massive 1000 HP. So on the face of it, sure, it looks pretty strong, but just looking at the stats doesn't fully convey just how powerful it is, as in its current form, the Brute might just be the most overpowered entry into the game, even more so than the Infinity Blade, Planes, and the OG drum gun. But what sets the Brute apart from all the other overpowered items we've seen? Well, it's incredibly difficult to defend against, and in some situations, practically impossible. Once a Brute fires its missiles at you, you can't just box up and protect yourself, like you would against any other weapon. The missiles will almost always get through and kill you, even if you're turbo building whilst on max health and shield. And if a Brute gets in your face, its ability to stomp makes it a nightmare to deal with from close range. I was watching the latest Friday Fortnite tournament, and even some of the best players in the world were getting absolutely destroyed by it, or running away as soon as they saw it. I'll show you a couple of clips of the Brute in action, which I think showcased perfectly just how insane it is.
Motherfucking dude! How am I supposed to counter this, man? How? How? Literally how? I just don't understand, bro. Like, I literally just don't understand. I have Optimus fucking Prime over here just fucking shitting on me in a fucking arena game with 1 fucking kill, bro. Every game, man.
Wait, got it.
No!
I got boogie. My boogie.
Oh, shit!
Oh my! I hate this game. He's got a 6. He got 6 kills. All of them right there.
All the kills. He got 5. Every single one of his own. How does an entire team just die like that?
Now tell me that those weren't some of the most ridiculous clips you've ever seen. And what makes it worse is that it takes no skill at all to be effective. You don't need to have good aim or building skills. Because of this, suddenly bad players will have a huge advantage over good players, just as long as they're using a Brute. And even if they keep missing with the shotgun or missiles, they can just keep spamming away until eternity, as they have unlimited ammo. So offensively, Brutes are insane, but defensively, they're also way too strong. 1000 HP is just madness, and if that wasn't enough, they're able to use an overshield, which protects them for 5 seconds, at the expense of 200 materials. Although considering Brutes are able to collect materials from everything they destroy, losing 200 materials per use really ain't that much. Many people have compared the Brute to the Infinity Blade, due to them both completely dominating the game, and there's a lot of similarities. However, what I think pushes the Brute ahead of the Infinity Blade is that it's incredibly strong close range as well as medium range, whereas the Infinity Blade was only good when right next to someone. The Infinity Blade completely disrupted the flow of the game, and dominated despite there only being 1 per match. But you compare that to the Brutes, that can have up to 6 spawning in a single match, and you get Season 10 of Fortnite. Looking back to Season 7's Infinity Blade controversy, and I'm still stunned that they allowed it in a 500k tournament. So let's just be grateful that Epic extended Season 9 until after the World Cup. Otherwise, it would have been an absolute mess and completely ruined it. So in some ways, it does look like epic listening, but when they add things like the Brute, it looks like we're back to square one. Remember what they said when they vaulted the Infinity Blade? They said it was overpowered without any good counters, and that's exactly the case here, once again. Sure, if you and your teammates spray a Brute from distance, then you can defeat them, but most of the time, you don't get to choose when you fight a Brute. It's the Brute that brings the fight to you, so most of the time, there's not a lot you can do. Buggy bombs are also a really effective counter, but having to rely on good RNG can't be considered a reasonable counter to them, as you can't rely on getting buggy bombs every game. So what needs to be done? Well, I'm not sure there's a way to nerf the Brute without making it useless, so I think the best way to deal with them is by putting them in an LTM, while vaulting them. I'm 100% positive that Epic will make big changes to them, but their addition into the game makes me wonder just how out of touch they can be with the players. I released a poll yesterday, and the results really do say it all. The players on the whole aren't happy with the Brutes, and I'm certain Epic are listening. However, this does showcase a worrying cycle from Epic, where they introduce a game-breaking addition that nobody wanted, wait for complaints, make changes, then get positive reception from players, who are like,
"Wow, Epic are really listening."
and then rinse and repeat. So if Epic continues down this route, I can see them alienating the player base until they don't have any more players to annoy. I just hope it doesn't get to that point. So, what do you think of the Brutes? Are you happy it's in the game? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want to support me as a content creator, then feel free to use my creator code, which is on screen now. So anytime you buy something in the item shop and use my code, it will go directly towards supporting the channel, which would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more. And I'll see you next time for another video. Goodbye.